What is going on? In this video, we're talking about how to remove people out of your travel videos so you get awesome footage when you're out exploring. Alright guys, this video is all about some different tricks and tips that I have for you on how to shoot to make it look like the places you're at don't have any people, or very few people. Like if you're with someone, just that person is in the shot. And this is something that you encounter all the time when you're traveling. You'll get to a location, and when you get there, it's just swarm with people. I mean, there's just tourists everywhere. It's just one of those things. If you find a place to travel to and it's like on a blog or it's, on like TripAdvisor or something like that, and it's one of the top things to do, there's an almost guarantee that that spot is going to be just tons of people in every direction, just everywhere. So we encountered this when we were traveling in New Zealand a few weeks ago, and when we got to certain areas in the South is a very popular destination. And when we got to this one area, it was like location after location, it was just busloads of people. And it's really frustrating when you're going to see something, everyone else is there at the same time. I mean, I understand it's, everyone's traveling, everyone wants to see the locations and see all these cool places. But at a certain point, the more you travel, the more you realize that, these really awesome places are actually like just super busy and super touristy. So I've put together a few tricks for you that I use all the time when I go to places like this to just eliminate all the people. So one of the places that we went to in the South was this unique church that just sits on a hill. It's it's the Church of the Good Shepherd, but it's also one of the most touristy places that you'll go when you go into the south of New Zealand. So the first thing is just wait for the perfect moment. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You just wait it out. So if you found a cool shot and you're sitting there looking at this, but it's full of people, there is going to be a chance that people will step out of the frame at some point. So you just have to be patient. You have to wait. And that's probably the biggest thing I would tell you when you're trying to get people out of your shots is you're just going to have to wait and you're just going to have to be patient. Okay, another tip is to do some recon. So explore the area, look at the entire place that you're trying to film, look at different angles, different perspectives, and really get a sense of what this place is that you're trying to capture. And that's gonna help you decide the shots that you want so you can look at the flow of how people are moving through the space, and then you can wait and find that perfect moment where this shot of this spot is empty and you get that footage that you want. My third tip is shoot in slow motion. So slow motion gives you more time to play with when the frame empties out and you get a cool shot. So it just gives you the ability to capture those moments and not only have 1 second or a few frames where you actually get the shot. You'll have more time to play with in the edit. So slow motion is a great tool to capture a spot but allow you to get more footage of the shot that you're trying to get. Okay, my fourth tip, I've already kind of brushed on this, and that is look for unique angles. So go around the place, like I was saying, go scope it out, go do some recon, but find those unique angles where people are not in your frame. So it might be pointing up, it might be pointing down, it might be pointed at like an angle or looking over to a different spot of the location that you're trying to shoot that there's no people in it. So for example, with the church, everyone wants that wide shot right from the front of the church. Well, if you walk around back, there was nobody at the back of the church, so I could get some cool shots that also showed this location. And then also I stepped away further and I was able to get some stuff with some bushes in the foreground, and you still get the top of the church, so it cut out all the people on the bottom. You just gotta find those unique perspectives and use objects. So that gets into my next tip, and that is use objects in your frame to cover people. So whether it's like bushes, a tree, a rock, find the different unique perspective where you can put the camera and something in the frame in the foreground is gonna block out the people and your subject matter is isolated and it looks like you're there all alone with nothing around you. You can get some really cool shots by just covering part of the frame, and it ends up being a more unique shot and something that's actually more eye-catching. So along with thinking about a different perspective, turn the camera around and start shooting the environment. So this is one of those things that a lot of people forget. So when you get to a location like this church and you get there, you want to shoot the church. Turn around and shoot like the mountain range, the waves, what is around the object, because there's going to be people around where you want to shoot. Look around, use your environment, find that unique perspective. Okay, another tip, and this is more camera specific, is use a long lens. So when you use a long lens, you can go further away, punch in, put those things in the foreground. When you use a wide lens, you're getting a lot of stuff in your frame, and that's when you capture people. When you use a long lens, you're able to compress your image, you're able to pick out a section of what it is that you're trying to shoot, so you're able to remove all the people and actually get a really captivating shot that looks like there's no tourists there. So all in all, to remove people out of your shots, you really just have to be patient. You have to think of your environment, find a unique perspective, and use different camera techniques to isolate your subject or the person in the environment so it removes everything around what it is that you're trying to shoot. All right, guys, so let's watch the footage from the Church of the Good Shepherd so you can see all of this strung together and how the sequence turned out. All right, so what do you guys think? You saw the before, you saw all the people there. It was a crazy crowd around that church. But I definitely found some cool spots to shoot from. Even with the craziness that was going on, I couldn't believe how many people were showing up. Just sitting there for about an hour, wild how many people were being shuttled through. Get off the bus, they would go to that front, take their photo, get back on the bus, go to the next spot. There was nobody doing any exploring. So that's something I want to throw to you. When you're out there traveling, don't just go to these spots and make your trip all around the hotspots that you read on a blog or the hotspots that you see on TripAdvisor. Traveling is not about just marking things off a list. There are so many people doing the same things when they travel. They want to see this, they want to see that, they want to do this activity. But at the end of the day, that's not really traveling. That's not really an adventure. The more you travel, the more you realize that these kind of activities are just mundane, and everywhere you go, you'll find the same thing in every touristy kind of spot. So to really have an adventure, to really go out there and travel and see the world and see cultures. And with me and Rachel, as we've been traveling, we realized that we try to do some research online and we try to avoid these really touristy spots. In New Zealand, everyone told us, go to the south, go to the south, go to these hot spots. Well, all these hot spots that we went to were swarmed with tourists. Whereas when we were in the north and we were just doing it on our own and just exploring and talking to locals, we ended up finding some really cool stuff that we never found when we were researching online and reading books or any of that. The more that you just go out there and explore and adventure, the more that you have these real experiences that aren't just checking things off a list. So guys, I hope these tips will help you with your travel videos. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of awesome tutorials around cameras, around cinematography. I've also got a ton of awesome adventure vlogs from traveling the world. There are some really cool places coming up this year. And also make sure you follow us on Instagram. Mine's at Jeven Dovey. Rachel's is at Rachel Tonic Dovey. I will link them down below in the description. And guys, I will see you on the next one.